Ever since God almighty, they've done 2 pages of this bloody thing. Right.
Charles abdicating in favour of eldest son, something like Alzheimer's or a stroke or something intervene, which God forbid. That would obviously open up a wholly different lot of circumstances, perhaps making Regent or something.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel where the secrets of the British monarchy unfold like a gripping novel you can't put down. Today we are plunging into a moment that has left royal enthusiasts stunned and palace insiders scrambling to contain the fallout. King Charles III, standing before a sea of expectant faces, suddenly drawing a blank mid-speech. The words just evaporated right there on the public stage, sparking a firestorm of questions that no one in Buckingham Palace seems eager to answer. Is this the smoking gun confirming long-whispered fears about Alzheimer's disease gripping the monarch? And what does it mean for the future of the crown? Straight from a shocking interview with one of his own cousins, we now have chilling words that cut straight to the heart of the matter. His time is running out, and Prince William is poised to step up as regent alongside Queen Catherine, his steadfast wife. Before we unpack this earth-shattering revelation and trace the threads back to the very roots of royal health scandals, hit that like button and subscribe to stay ahead of every palace intrigue. Now, let us step back in time to understand how we arrived at this precarious edge. It was supposed to be just another dutiful appearance, a routine address meant to rally the nation around some ceremonial cause. But in an instant, everything changed. King Charles, ever the picture of regal composure despite his ongoing battles, faltered. The script in his hand, the notes prepared by a team of advisors, none of it mattered as he paused, eyes glazing over, searching for words that simply would not come. The audience held its breath. Cameras captured every awkward second, and within hours, social media exploded with speculation. Was this mere fatigue from his cancer treatments or something far more sinister? Royal watchers have long murmured about cognitive slips, but this felt different, more revealing, like a curtain accidentally pulled back on a hidden vulnerability. Insiders close to the palace corridors whispered that it was not the first time, but certainly the most public. The incident, fresh in the minds of everyone tuned into royal news, reignited dormant rumours that had simmered since his diagnosis earlier in the year. Alzheimer's, that relentless thief of memories and dignity, suddenly seemed not just possible, but probable. Experts in neurology, quoted in hushed tones across news outlets, pointed out that such public lapses align eerily with early-stage symptoms. Confusion under pressure, short-term recall failures, the kind of moments that chip away at even the strongest minds. But to truly grasp the weight of this, we must rewind further to the early whispers of health woes that have plagued the king for decades. This was no isolated blunder, it was the culmination of a narrative building behind closed doors, one that palace spokespeople have desperately tried to downplay. Let us turn the clock back to the spring of 2024, when the world first learned of King Charles' cancer diagnosis. What began as a routine procedure for an enlarged prostate uncovered something far graver, a shadow that has loomed over every public outing since. At 76, the monarch has faced his share of physical ailments, from chronic sinus issues requiring oxygen tents at night to persistent short-term memory challenges that biographers have detailed with unflinching candor. One royal author, in a tell-all that sent shockwaves through high society, described how Charles relies on meticulous routines to combat forgetfulness, jotting notes obsessively and surrounding himself with aides who anticipate his every lapse. Yet, despite these revelations, the palace maintained a facade of resilience, insisting the king was managing admirably. Fast forward to 2025 and cracks are widening. Recent appearances have shown subtle signs. A slight hesitation in responses, a reliance on prompts from Queen Camilla, moments where the weight of the crown seems to press too heavily on a mind under siege. Neurologists, observing from afar, have noted that cancer treatments themselves can exacerbate cognitive decline, mimicking or even accelerating Alzheimer's-like symptoms. But this is not mere speculation born of tabloid frenzy. Sources within medical circles, speaking anonymously to major outlets, suggest that the King's regimen of therapies could be fogging his mental clarity, turning what might have been manageable into a ticking clock. The recent speech fiasco, it fits the pattern perfectly, a public unravelling that no amount of preparation could prevent. As one insider put it, with brutal honesty, these are not just slips, they are signals of a deeper erosion. And it is here that the cousin's interview enters the fray, a bombshell from family blood that peels back layers the palace would rather keep sealed. Now, the revelation that has everyone talking, an interview with King Charles' own cousin, a figure long removed from the spotlight but intimately tied to the family tree. In a candid sit-down that aired quietly on a niche royal history programme, she dropped words that echoed like a death knell. "His time is running out," she said, her voice steady but laced with sorrow, referring directly to the king's deteriorating condition. This was no vague platitude. It was a pointed assessment, drawn from years of observing the man behind the throne. The cousin, whose identity palace handlers have tried to downplay, spoke of private conversations where Charles himself admitted the toll of his illnesses. Alzheimer's, she implied without naming it outright, was the unspoken spectre, confirmed by those recent public stumbles. She painted a picture of a monarch racing against his own frailty, confiding in family that the crown might pass not through natural succession, but through necessity. Prince William, she asserted, is already being groomed not just as heir, but as regent, with Queen Catherine by his side as the unyielding pillar of support. This interview, buried in archives but resurfacing amid the speech scandal, has fueled a torrent of analysis. Why speak now? Insiders suggest it was a cry for transparency, a family member's plea to prepare the nation for what lies ahead. The cousin's words align chillingly with medical speculation. At his age, combined with cancer, cognitive decline accelerates rapidly. No longer whispers in drawing rooms, this is a direct line from blood to bombshell, forcing us to confront the human fragility beneath the pomp. With the cousin's stark warning hanging in the air, the implications ripple outward like stones skipped across a still pond. The British monarchy, an institution built on continuity and spectacle, now faces its most precarious chapter in modern history. Alzheimer's, if truly at play, does not just erode the king's personal life. It threatens the very stability of the realm. Succession laws demand a capable head of state, and recent lapses raise alarms about his fitness to rule. Legal experts, poring over Regency Acts from centuries past, note that infirmity of mind or body could trigger a regency without abdication, preserving the king's title while shifting power. This is no abstract debate, it is a real possibility, one that palace planners have reportedly been gaming out in secret meetings. The speech incident serves as Exhibit A, a public exhibit of vulnerability that erodes public confidence. Polls, surging in the wake of the event, show a dip in support for Charles' reign, with many calling for clarity on his health. Yet, beneath the legal mechanics lies a deeper story, the emotional toll on the family. Queen Camilla, ever the steadfast consort, has been seen shielding him more fiercely, while siblings and cousins grapple with the weight of disclosure. The cousin's interview underscores this family divide, her boldness contrasting the palace's silence. As one royal commentator observed, this could redefine duty, forcing the Windsors to balance tradition with transparency in ways never before imagined. And at the centre, Prince William and Queen Catherine, thrust into a role that blends preparation with premature burden. Enter the power couple of the future, Prince William and Queen Catherine, whose bond has been the monarchy's saving grace through storms of scandal and sorrow. As the cousins' interview laid bare, they are not mere bystanders, they are the designated anchors in this brewing crisis. William, with his steady demeanour honed by years in the royal trenches, has long been eyed as the natural regent, a role that would see him wielding the king's authority without the full weight of coronation. Catherine, his wife and future queen consort, stands as his equal in this narrative, her poise and resilience shining through her own health trials. Insiders reveal private briefings where the pair have been schooled in regency protocols, from state affairs to diplomatic nuances, all while maintaining their family-first ethos. The recent speech gaffe, it reportedly prompted urgent huddles at Kensington Palace, where William stepped in seamlessly to cover, his calm presence a stark contrast to his father's falter. This partnership is no accident. It is forged in shared values, from environmental advocacy to mental health crusades, making them ideally suited to modernise the crown. Yet, the human element tugs at the heartstrings. Sources close to the couple speak of late-night worries, not for power, but for their children's future in a monarchy teetering on uncertainty. Catherine's quiet strength, evident in her triumphant return to duties post-treatment, bolsters William, turning potential chaos into coordinated calm. As the cousin hinted, their regency would be a duo act, blending William's strategic mind with Catherine's empathetic touch, a fresh era where family and duty intertwine without the isolation of past reigns. The spectre of regency looms larger than ever, a constitutional mechanism dusted off from history's shelves to safeguard the throne. Triggered by the king's confirmed cognitive slips and the cousin's dire prognosis, it would install William as regent, with Catherine as his indispensable ally, until health stabilises or succession naturally unfolds. Legal scholars dissect the Regency Act of 1937 and its updates, noting that mental infirmity, like suspected Alzheimer's, qualifies without needing a full abdication, a merciful path that honours Charles' legacy. Rumours swirl of contingency plans already in motion, shadow cabinets, protocol drills, even international briefings to allies. On X and in forums, debates rage about safeguards, with many echoing calls to bar distant relatives from interim roles, ensuring William's line remains untarnished. This is revolutionary, breaking from precedents where regents like George IV's era were mired in scandal. William and Catherine's version? It promises efficiency and empathy, prioritising mental health awareness amid the king's struggles. But challenges abound. Public perception, media scrutiny, the delicate dance of advising a living sovereign. Insiders paint a picture of quiet determination, with the couple consulting veterans like Princess Anne for wisdom. The speech incident accelerated this timeline, turning whispers into workable strategy. As one palace observer noted, regency here is not a demotion for Charles, but an elevation for the future, allowing him dignity in decline while propelling William and Catherine into a proving ground. This shift signals a monarchy adapting, less rigid, more responsive to human frailties. The unfolding drama of King Charles's health crisis, punctuated by his public speech lapse and amplified by his cousin's haunting words, lays bare a monarchy at a crossroads. Beyond the constitutional mechanics of regency lies a deeply human story, one of healing old wounds, mending fractured bonds, and redefining what it means to wear the crown in a world that demands authenticity over artifice. For Prince William and Queen Catherine, stepping into the role of regents is not merely about assuming power. It is about knitting together a royal family, bruised by years of loss, scrutiny, and internal strife, while carving out a legacy that resonates with a modern Britain weary of pomp. This moment, raw and revealing, offers a chance to transform vulnerability into a cornerstone of strength, reshaping the monarchy into something relatable, yet enduring. The emotional scars run deep. The past few years have been a relentless gauntlet for the Windsors. The deaths of Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II, King Charles's own health battles, and the lingering shadow of family rifts from Prince Harry's departure to the echoes of past scandals. The cousin's stark warning, his time is running out, is not just a medical prognosis. It is a clarion call to confront these wounds head-on. Insiders reveal that William and Catherine are acutely aware of the toll this era has taken, not just on the king, but on the institution itself. Their response is a deliberate pivot toward unity and purpose. Private family summits, held far from the public eye, have reportedly focused on reconciliation, not just with estranged relatives, but with a public grown skeptical of royal relevance. Catherine, in particular, brings her lived experience to this mission. Her own health struggles, faced with grace and candour, have made her a beacon of empathy. Her quiet resilience, a counterpoint to the monarchy's traditional stoicism. This healing extends to their vision for regency. William and Catherine are crafting a court that feels less like a gilded cage and more like a working family home. Sources close to the couple describe plans for a streamlined operation. Fewer ceremonial extravagances, more focus on causes that matter: climate change, mental health, child welfare, all rooted in their long-standing passions. Their move to Forest Lodge, a modest Windsor estate, was no accident. It was a blueprint for this new chapter, prioritising work-life balance even at the apex of power. By shielding Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis from the relentless spotlight, they aim to raise heirs who are grounded, not glorified, a stark departure from the isolated upbringings of past royals. This family-first ethos is revolutionary, echoing the sentiments of millions who juggle duty and domesticity, making the crown feel less distant, more human. Yet, this is not just about parenting or palace optics, it is about legacy. Charles, often called the Bridge King, has spent his reign laying groundwork for a monarchy that adapts to the 21st century. His environmental advocacy, once mocked, now feels prophetic, but his health crisis risks overshadowing that vision. William and Catherine, as regents, are poised to carry this torch, blending his ideals with their own. Their regency promises to be a proving ground where mental health awareness, sparked by Charles's suspected Alzheimer's, becomes a rallying cry, destigmatizing vulnerability at the highest levels. They are consulting seasoned royals like Princess Anne, whose no-nonsense wisdom guides their path, ensuring tradition informs but does not shackle their innovations. The cousins' interview, with its raw honesty, adds urgency to this transformation. It forces a reckoning. A monarchy that hides its frailties risks irrelevance, but one that embraces them can inspire. William and Catherine are betting on the latter, using this crisis to forge a legacy where duty embraces humanity, where the crown serves not just as a symbol of power, but as a mirror of resilience. As speculation swirls and the king's condition looms, their regency could be the catharsis the Windsors need, a chance to heal, unite and redefine royalty for generations to come. As the dust settles from King Charles III's startling speech lapse, the whispers of Alzheimer's, and his cousin's haunting declaration that his time is running out, we stand at a crossroads that could reshape the British monarchy for centuries. This is no mere hiccup in the royal narrative, it's a seismic shift, thrusting Prince William and Queen Catherine into the spotlight as potential regents, poised to steer the crown through uncharted waters. The incident, captured in viral clips across platforms like X, has sparked a global conversation, with royal enthusiasts and skeptics alike dissecting every pause, every falter, as evidence of a deeper crisis. The cousins' interview, though tucked away in an obscure broadcast, has roared back into relevance. Its chilling prognosis amplifying fears that the king's reign may be nearing a poignant twilight. This moment is not just about one man's health. It's about the monarchy's soul, teetering between tradition's weight and a desperate need for reinvention. What makes this so gripping is its human core. Charles, a monarch who ascended late, has carried the crown with a quiet dignity, his environmental passions and earnest speeches endearing him to many. Yet the public stumble and the cousin's blunt words, echoed by medical speculation about cognitive decline, paint a picture of fragility that no palace statement can fully erase. Searches on Alzheimer's reveal how swiftly it can erode even the sharpest minds, especially under the strain of cancer treatments, which insiders say cloud Charles's clarity further. This vulnerability forces a reckoning. Can a monarchy built on unyielding pomp adapt to a leader's mortal limits? William and Catherine, with their grounded approach, seen in their choice of modest Windsor living over palatial grandeur, offer a glimpse of what's next. Their regency, if it comes, promises a monarchy that's less distant, more relatable, prioritising mental health advocacy and family values over ceremonial excess. X posts buzz with support for this shift, with users praising the couple's authenticity, though some fear it risks diluting royal mystique. This turning point also challenges us to rethink legacy. Charles, as a bridge king, has laid groundwork for William's modern reign, but regency could cement this transition with unprecedented grace. Legal frameworks dusted off from 1937's Regency Act ensure continuity, yet the emotional stakes, family unity, public trust loom larger. Catherine's resilience, forged through her own health battles, and William's steady preparation signal a duo ready to balance duty with humanity. This could redefine royalty, making it a beacon of empathy in a skeptical age. But risks linger. Media frenzy, public doubt, the delicate dance of advising a still-living king. The cousin's warning, raw and unfiltered, underscores urgency, pushing the palace to confront truths long veiled. So, where do you stand? Is this regency a bold step toward a monarchy that mirrors modern struggles, or does it threaten to unravel centuries of tradition? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read everyone, from fervent royalists to critical observers. Share this story with fellow history buffs, hit that like button, and subscribe to dive deeper into the Crown's evolving saga. This isn't just palace gossip, it's history unfolding, and your voice matters. What should the monarchy become? Let us know, and stay tuned for more unfiltered truths from the heart of royalty.